Unlocking financial abundance. It's not about hard work, it's about inner alignment. Forget the tired narrative that wealth is solely the product of relentless toil and sacrifice. What if I told you that prosperity could flow effortlessly, almost naturally? I know, it sounds unbelievable. We're conditioned to believe that only grueling work yields results, a belief deeply ingrained since childhood. But there's another way, a path I discovered when I realized the key wasn't physical exertion, but the unconscious energy we project. Many dedicate their lives to the grind, believing money is directly proportional to hours worked, a dangerous misconception. This fallacy traps countless individuals in a relentless pursuit of elusive financial freedom. The disparity between those who thrive and those who struggle, despite possessing equal skills and education, isn't about effort. It's about their mental programming, the invisible system dictating thoughts, emotions, and actions. This internal blueprint, if programmed for scarcity, renders all effort futile, like running on a treadmill. Lots of activity, zero progress. I've lived this firsthand. Once drowning in debt, earning a paltry $4,000 a year while owing $6,000, I worked myself to the bone. The problem wasn't a lack of effort, but the programming of my mind. My focus was on fear and lack, and the universe mirrored that vibration. Then, I understood the need to shift not my actions, but my essence. I started writing a seemingly absurd affirmation on a card. I am immensely happy and grateful to earn $25,000 annually. Initially, it felt like a lie, but consistent repetition, infused with genuine emotion, gradually ingrained it into my subconscious. When the mind accepts something as truth, it finds ways to materialize it. Why, even knowing what to do, saving, investing, adopting better habits, do we repeat the same financial mistakes? It's not due to a lack of discipline or intelligence. It's that hidden programming, beliefs absorbed in childhood, phrases like, money is dirty, rich people are dishonest, or you have to suffer to succeed. These deeply ingrained ideas, even unconsciously held, act as silent commands, blocking the flow of abundance. This explains why we often start things with enthusiasm, only to abandon them later. It's not a lack of willpower, it's your programming at work. Earl Nightingale's audio programs had a profound impact. I listened repeatedly, in the car, during commutes, at home. This relentless repetition was like the persistent drip of water on stone, slowly reshaping my subconscious. What once seemed impossible, earning $100,000 a year, reaching my first million, became normal. And when something becomes normal to the mind, reality adapts. I started seeing opportunities where I once saw obstacles, making confident decisions that attracted aligned people and circumstances. Physical effort alone is insufficient if your mind isn't attuned to abundance. Knowledge without a paradigm shift is unproductive. You can study for years, accumulate degrees, yet if you believe wealth is unattainable, that will be your reality. This explains why so many intelligent individuals remain financially frustrated. Observe the so-called lucky ones, those who seemingly always have opportunities. They speak about money with ease, without panic or drama. This inner state of confidence and clarity is what allows money to flow. It's not luck, it's vibration. Conversely, those who complain, compare themselves to others, and cultivate thoughts of scarcity attract precisely what they fear. Transformation begins when you consciously choose to no longer be controlled by inherited programming. When you refuse to accept scarcity as normal and allow yourself to feel abundance as an integral part of your life. It's not just about positive thinking, it's about deeply feeling that you deserve it, that you are already part of that flow. By daily repeating this feeling, visualizing your desired life, you shift your energy field. And when your energy shifts, the world shifts with you. It's not about chasing money, it's about aligning with it, like tuning a radio until the music becomes clear. The money is already playing, you just need to adjust your frequency to hear it. I discovered that money needs space to enter, not just in your budget, but physically, in your schedule, and especially in your mind. As long as you're surrounded by clutter, draining commitments and thoughts of the past, the new can't find a way in. This manifested dramatically at my home. After a seminar discussing creating space for the new, I came home to an empty living room, table, chairs, sofas, everything gone. Initial shock gave way to laughter. I'd asked the universe for movement and it responded. Better furniture, aligned opportunities, and smarter partnerships began to arrive. Life fills the space you clear. It's a practical law. Discarding what no longer serves you demonstrates readiness for what you desire. The most common objection is the fear of regret. What if I need it later? What if I miss an opportunity? This fear has psychological roots. We overvalue what we already possess, the endowment effect. We hoard useless items, cling to failed projects, and carry emotional baggage to avoid losing something that already costs us dearly. Understanding this bias helps overcome the paralysis of letting go, opening the way for better choices. There's a biological cost to living surrounded by excess. UCLA researchers found that cluttered environments are linked to high cortisol levels, especially in women, showing that material clutter translates into chemical chaos in the body. The feeling of unfinished business exacerbates the overload. The Zeigarnik effect explains why incomplete tasks disproportionately occupy the mind, consuming focus and peace. By finishing, donating, or discarding, you're not just organizing your home, you're reducing mental noise and freeing up creative energy for opportunities and income. I use a simple, rigorous protocol. First, I choose a small space, a drawer, a shelf, and ask the crucial question: does this bring me closer to the life I desire? If the answer is no, I let it go. No drama. I apply the same criterion to my schedule. Commitments that don't nurture me become a no. This isn't just minimalism, it's a prosperity strategy. Warren Buffett says the difference between successful and highly successful people is that highly successful people say no to most things. Each conscious no creates quality time for reflection, feeling, and acting in the right direction, and that's when lucrative ideas emerge. To experience money flowing more easily, I propose a 7-day challenge. Day 1, get rid of 10 useless items. Day 2, finish an old task. Day 3, say no to a commitment not aligned with your future. Day 4, create a prosperity zone at home. Day 5, audit subscriptions and unnecessary expenses. Day 6, dedicate 2 hours to brainstorming new income streams. Day 7, write an alignment statement and read it emotionally morning and night. I release what limits me and open space for new income sources to arrive in expected and unexpected ways. If doubt arises, acknowledge it and continue. Doubt is also a habit. I've seen lives transform simply by creating space. Clients who donated half their belongings received previously blocked invitations. Professionals who canceled useless meetings conceived the product that made their best quarter ever. And yes, I've seen the opposite. Brilliant people trapped in numerous mediocre projects, drowning their talent in excess. It's not mysticism, it's coherence. Where there's space, there's flow. Where there's coherence between what you think, feel, and tolerate, money finds its way. Create space today, on your shelf, in your schedule, in your heart, and watch how life rushes to fill the void with what aligns with the person you've chosen to be. Feeling precedes seeing. I had to train my body to feel prosperity as normal. When you look at your bank statement with anxiety, your vibration is linked to scarcity. When you feel security and gratitude as a foundation, your mind seeks paths compatible with that security. That's what I did when writing on the card. I'm so happy and grateful to earn $25,000 a year. I read it morning and night, but I didn't just read it. I felt the emotion, as if the scene were already unfolding. Over time, resistance yielded, and opportunities began to emerge where I had previously only seen obstacles. To make this state replicable, I used 3 levers: repetition, emotion, and mental rehearsal. Repetition alone is weak. Emotion without repetition is unstable. Together, they reprogram, I recorded my voice with affirmations and listened at night with soft music, because during sleep the critical filter slows down and the seed penetrates deeper. The old mind will protest. This is silly. It doesn't work. I heard those protests. I continued. With each felt repetition, you shift your self-image, and a new self-image spontaneously chooses new actions. Clear rituals accelerate the process. I propose a simple, practical, and inflexible 30-day protocol. First, 1 minute of slow breathing to shift your physiological state. Second, 11 minutes of feeling the movie. Vividly visualize your abundance routine in detail, the serenity of paying bills on time, the creativity at work, the conversations where you say no to what isn't a priority, and yes to what multiplies value. Third, 3 minutes of writing, an alignment statement in the present tense with the dollar amount written out. I am so happy and grateful to receive $100,000 a year from expected and unexpected sources. Write it, read it aloud, and record a 2-minute audio. Carry it with you and listen during transitions. At the end of the day, a 1-minute rehearsal. Close your eyes. Offer specific thanks for something that progressed. A contact, an idea, a micro-progress. The mind learns through emotional evidence. If you stumble, resume the same day. Consistency is more valuable than intensity. There are common objections. What if I'm deluding myself? This isn't about denying facts, but about shifting the state that selects the facts. Emotions shape financial choices. Gratitude, for example, increases economic patience and reduces the impulse to take smaller rewards now instead of larger ones later. This changes daily saving, investing, and negotiating decisions. It's not mysticism, it's a measurable effect on financial choices. Another point, can I just visualize and wait? No. Visualization prepares the ground. Simple, if, then. Action plans make the seed sprout. When I define triggers, if I open the banking app, then I'll invest first and only then spend, I delegate the decision to the context and remove it from willpower. This type of plan greatly increases the execution rate. And why so much focus on positive emotions? Because states like interest and contentment expand the mental repertoire, allowing you to see options that anxiety obscures. Those who expand their repertoire identify more ways to generate value and income. I had a striking experience. At a time when my focus was fixated on debt, my mentor asked me, "What if you used the same energy you spend worrying to play with larger numbers?" I grabbed a calculator and started playing. What does earning $10,000 a month represent per day? What does earning $100,000 a year mean per week? What if I project $1 million in 5 years? What daily increments does that translate to? I did this for weeks, not to force it, but to normalize it. Those figures, which previously shrank me, lost their emotional weight. Suddenly, I wasn't asking for small opportunities. I was generating projects compatible with the new internal measure. The emotion here was one of surprise and joy. It felt like I'd discovered a hidden dial within me, and, by turning it, the tuning of the world outside changed along with it. If you tend to get stuck, perform a micro pattern break now. 10 slow breaths, then describe the feeling of having financial breathing room at the end of the month. Don't describe the scene, describe the feeling. Peace, relief, calm pride. Repeat the word that emerges 3 times internally. Label the emotion you want to cultivate and install it as the initial state of your day. This doesn't pay bills. It changes the you who deals with them, and that you makes different decisions. Negotiates better, prioritizes better, says no more firmly, and notices the right contact in the midst of a busy schedule. To tie everything together in a small, powerful gesture, I leave a specific 7-day challenge within the 30. Every morning before touching your phone, read aloud your gratitude card with the dollar amount written out. Breathe as if you already live this reality, and make a single, if-then, money commitment for the day. If I receive any amount today, then I'll immediately set aside 10%. If I go to the market, then I'll follow the list without extras. If an invitation arises that doesn't bring me closer to my goal, then I'll say no politely. This combination of feeling plus deciding plus acting repeated becomes identity. And a new identity pulls new results with far less friction than pushing the world with your bare hands. Desire is an organizing force. When it's clear, insistent, and felt in the body, it summons people, ideas, and resources you don't yet know. I experienced this in the early 70s when it seemed I was alone, with only a vision that many would call audacious. I held that vision with daily devotion, not like someone daydreaming, but like someone already on the path. Gradually, the pieces began to arrive. First, a brilliant financial mind, then a disciplined operator, then a communicator with heart. The message spread. The impossible began to take shape. It wasn't luck. It was strong desire acting as a magnetic field, aligning circumstances with the frequency I emitted. Many confuse desire with anxiety. Anxiety is noise. Desire is direction. Anxiety seeks shortcuts. Desire sustains the process. I kept the question alive. What is consistent with my vision today? And answered with small yet relentless actions. One phone call a day, one invitation sent, one refined presentation, repetition with emotion. While I did my visible part, the invisible part happened. Doors I didn't know existed opened. People I never planned to meet appeared in the right corridor, at the right time. This is how true desire works. It doesn't ask permission from limited logic. It reorganizes your surroundings from the inside out. There's a second pillar that mature desire always demands: multiple income streams. Truly prosperous individuals rarely depend on a single source of income. They allow for several, in harmony with their talents and values. When this understanding dawned, my focus shifted from, how do I pay the bills at the end of the month, to, how do I make money work for me while I sleep? This simple shift in questioning elevates daily decisions. You stop trading hours for crumbs and start building assets, products, licenses, partnerships, and royalties. It's not about running faster, it's about designing parallel channels through which water can flow. For those currently in traditional jobs, raising children, or studying and thinking, I don't have time, I propose a three-pronged map that fits into real life. First path, conversion income, something that quickly transforms knowledge into money, short mentorships, digital guides, recorded classes. Second path, recurring income, something that pays monthly without constant attendance, subscriptions, content clubs, service maintenance, simple royalties. Third path, appreciation income, something that appreciates over time, a book that continues selling, a small stake in a project, a scalable digital asset. Choose one micro step in each path. 1. In 30 days, you'll have 3 seeds planted, and planted seeds don't ask if, they ask when. I used an exercise that changes the internal scale, conscious normalization. I took a sheet of paper and wrote in large letters, I am so happy and grateful now that I receive $100,000 a year from expected and unexpected sources. Then I listed 5 possible paths, some obvious, others audacious. I didn't demand that all of them happen. I was training my nervous system to call that number by name without shrinking. Note the detail, written out in dollars, as the precision of the mind demands. Then I chose a 10-minute action that made one of these paths a little more likely that day. An email sent, a page published, a meeting scheduled. 10 minutes every day until the improbable became familiar. Pattern break now. Close your eyes for 10 seconds and describe in one word the feeling of seeing money coming in from 3 different places in the same month. Hold that word. Perhaps security, perhaps lightness, perhaps serene pride. Say it internally 3 times and open your eyes as if you've just received an invisible replenishment. Unlocking your financial potential. A 21-day journey to abundance. Let's be honest, shifting your mindset isn't some magical spell. but it's the key that unlocks the door to financial freedom. A subtle change in attitude, a shift from scarcity to abundance, radically alters your actions, your conversations, and the opportunities you see. Stop waiting for connections to fall into your lap. Strategically cultivate them. Instead of chasing approval, invite people to collaborate on your clearly defined vision. That's how I landed a game-changing partnership with a sharp financial expert, not by demanding, but by inviting her to join my mission. The result? My message reached a whole new audience, and my gratitude was profound, a quiet joy rather than frantic excitement. Think of Thomas Edison. His relentless pursuit of illuminating the world wasn't stubbornness, it was unwavering conviction. Don't mistake the hustle of trying for the melody of your vision. True desire doesn't give up. It evolves until reality catches up. So what's your light? If your answer is hesitant, it's a wish, not a desire. Clarity is the turning point. Here's a 21-day challenge to turn desire into reality. Day 1. Write down your financial goal in full dollar amounts, then record a 2-minute audio expressing your excitement about it. For the next 20 days, start each day by listening to the audio, identifying 3 small actions you can take and completing at least one. Aim for 10 minutes. Use if-then statements to build momentum. If I finish work at 6, then I'll send out 3 networking emails. If I receive any payment, then I'll immediately invest 10%. On day 21, review your progress. New contacts, ideas, small wins. You'll have shifted internally, and when that happens, the money flows to meet you. A powerful desire is a beacon. It doesn't chase ships, it guides them to port. You don't need to chase everything. Shine bright enough, and what's meant for you will find its way back. The crux is consistency. Align your thoughts, feelings, and actions, and money flows effortlessly. We don't attract what we want with words, we attract what we embody, like a radio tuned to a specific station. When I reacted to bank statements with anxiety, life mirrored that anxiety. When I cultivated a feeling of security and gratitude, before checking numbers, before making decisions, my perspective changed, and opportunities emerged where previously there were roadblocks. Internal shift first, external results second. I created coherence anchors. First, physiological, 3 deep breaths, relaxing shoulders, releasing jaw tension. I only check my banking app after feeling calm. Second, verbal. I repeat with feeling, not robotic recitation. I'm so happy and grateful now that I receive $100,000 per year from expected and unexpected sources. Third, behavioral. Acts that demonstrate who I am. Investing before spending. Politely declining irrelevant opportunities, tackling tasks that clutter my mind. When these anchors align, my mind collaborates instead of sabotaging. My new identity guides my actions. What if it feels like a lie? At first it did. Writing $25,000 per year on my card felt unreal, but I repeated it daily, with emotion, until the resistance lessened. When your mind accepts, it creates paths you didn't know existed. Connections emerge, decisions solidify, and projects gain momentum. It wasn't blind effort that broke the debt cycle. It was changing my internal frequency, then consistently taking small actions. Larger checks followed, and what felt impossible, $100,000 then $1 million, became plausible because it no longer felt excessive to my nervous system. I also created a short mantra. Money flows freely to me from known and unknown sources. This wasn't superstition, it was mental hygiene. I shifted from a scarcity mindset to a vibration of abundance. I began noticing opportunities I'd previously overlooked. Life doesn't react to isolated words. It responds to your dominant state, and that's malleable. Turn intentions into if-then protocols to bypass willpower. If I open my banking app, then I invest first, then spend. If I receive money, then I immediately set aside 10%. If an opportunity doesn't align with my vision, then I politely decline. If it's bill-paying day, I start with the smallest to build momentum. These triggers bridge vibration and reality. Feeling becomes habit, habit becomes result. I remember being consumed by debt. My mentor suggested, Thinking bigger. I used a calculator. What's $10,000 a month daily, $100,000 a year, weekly, $1 million in 5 years, daily? I did this for days, slowly, just to release the tension in my body. It was like switching glasses. Opportunities naturally emerged from the state I cultivated. For those fearing losing control, here's a 7-day plan. Day 1. Create your affirmation with the full dollar amount and record a 2-minute audio. Day 2. Deep breaths, read it aloud, do a 10-minute action toward your goal. Day 3. Apply a financial if-then. Day 4. Complete a lingering task. Day 5. Have a challenging but polite conversation that frees your time. Day 6. Dedicate 20 minutes to creating an income stream independent of your presence. Day 7. Review your progress. Your body needs signals. Provide them consciously. Trained emotions change choices. Repeated choices change income. Interest and contentment expand your possibilities. Anxiety constricts them. Practice gratitude and security before decisions. Avoid negative impulses and see better pathways. You'll shift from chasing to attracting what aligns with who you've chosen to be. It's this silent coherence, feeling, choosing, and acting in alignment that makes money flow naturally. Take a deep breath and embrace the clarity. When thought, emotion, and action align, life opens up, and the right flow finds you. The next step is available right now. Maintain the vibration and take that simple action that confirms who you've decided to be. Now watch the next video. It's another step on your journey. Thank you for watching.